Hey, John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. I thought I'd do an emergency video tonight. I felt like I had to do an emergency video because I just encountered this twice now, going through my email, and I figured that this is a pretty important topic, so wanted to get this out there right away. So this video is going live immediately, which will be like nighttime because it's evening for me in Hawaii here. Anyway, so here's the thing. Financial advisors, anyone who tries to claim that they're going to make you wealthy because they have some kind of investment secret, most of them are not, well, they're not really truthful in what they're representing. Let me put it this way. There's a couple of things to know, first off, from the beginning. So the first thing is that since the last 100 years or so, the stock market, or more specifically the S&P 500, which is in general the 500 biggest stocks in the stock market, they have averaged a return of about 7 to 8% per year on average. Now that doesn't mean anything in itself, because that doesn't mean that you're going to get 7 to 8% returns, because there's also been some big drops, which if you hit a big drop, a big drop is more hurtful to you than a return, because on a drop it takes so many percentage returns increases in order to get back to where you were. But let's disregard that point. Just there's a fact there, right? Is that 78%, and then the other thing to know is that in all the studies that have been done on professional stock traders or anyone trading in the market, it's never been proven that anyone has any significant skill above random luck, or in beating the market, right? So in beating that 7 to 8% average. In fact, there's a really good book that you should read called Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow. And in that book, the author actually goes through and he evaluates these big brokers and their best traders, and he takes the stats on them and he kind of calculates this against the standard deviation to see if there's anyone that has any true skill in beating the market. And it turns out that these professional traders are no more skillful than you or I at picking stocks and doing trades. So they're not even able to beat the 7 or 8% that the market would just return on average in general, and sometimes it's even worse than that. In fact, most cases it's worse than that. You're just better off just using blind random luck. So with that said, here's the thing that I wanted to address in this video, which is I just got 2 of these emails now. It's occasionally I get an email from a financial advisor or from someone who's a trader. They have a brokerage company. They want to to help me build my wealth, right? So I got one from LinkedIn from this guy that basically said that he's an options trader, brokerage firm, and he's basically has a method for getting 15% plus returns on average per month. Now that number doesn't totally shock me, because I know that to get a 15% return on a month is not ridiculous, right? And there's a lot of ways to trade options that can get that, but to do it over a long period of time without hitting the month where you lose 50%, now that's a little bit less heard of. But regardless, whenever I get an email like that, the thing that I ask is I say, well, what is your net worth? So that's what I did, is I emailed this guy back, and my first question, and this is a question you should always ask someone that is professing to be able to give you big returns or to be able to increase your wealth, is ask them what their net worth is. So he returned back and he said basically he doesn't usually give away that information or the exact numbers, but it's in the low 6 figures. So that's kind of not to be offensive, but that's kind of laughable. His net worth is in the low 6 figures, and he has a return method that brings in 15% per year. So here's what I replied back to him. As I said, okay, well, let's look at it this way. Let's say you had $100,000 net worth, right? Okay, which is the lowest of the low 6 figures. If you are getting 15% returns per month, in 1 year you would have $500,000. In 2 years you'd have close to $3 million. So here's the thing. Obviously, either you're not getting 15% returns average, or if you are, you haven't been doing it very long, and you haven't market tested this, and it's not going to hold up. You haven't been doing this for at least a year or two, otherwise you yourself would be a millionaire. And I said, no offense, but thanks, but no thanks. So here's the thing, whenever you get in this situation, is you have to always ask someone what their net worth is. And this is not a financial advisor necessarily, but I'm sure that they're trying to do investments. They're in that category of people. There's this category. There's maybe financial planners and all these things. I always laugh because I think they're silly. Because honestly, you need to ask someone what is their net worth, and they should be able to answer that question. If you go to anyone in finance that's going to help you build your wealth, and they answer that question, and their answer is not over $1 million, you have to seriously question. I mean, you're not going to outstrip them. You're not going to outperform them. They're not going to take your savings in your 401k or whatever it is and perform better than they have, right? So you whatever their net worth is, that's your best case scenario, right? Of all the years of experience that they have in doing this, they've only been able to build up to that point. And a lot of that is not even coming from investing, right? It's coming from making money off of people who they're investing their money, or from other jobs, or from who knows what, right? So, it's kind of I guess it might seem being a little bit harsh, but you should be able to ask that question, and they should answer that question. Not only should they answer that question, in my opinion, they should think you're really smart for asking that question, because they should know exactly why you're asking that question. Because someone who is an astute investor would ask that question, right? If they're actually what they're representing, then they would ask that question, and they would expect you to ask that question. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not someone out there that possibly could answer that question correctly, right? Someone could have a net worth. They could say, oh, I have a $3 million net worth, and I make money off of, in addition to my own trades where I make most of my money, I also bring your trades along and make additional money that way too. It accelerates the process. Okay, that's an acceptable answer, but I'm going to want to see proof of it. And in fact, if someone claims that their net worth is whatever $1 million, and they're going to be a financial advisor for you, you're going to trust your future with them, make them show it to you on paper and ask them how they got it, and look through the steps. Like, they should be able to reveal all of those things to you. Otherwise, they're just playing guessing games, right? I laugh at the financial degrees and the people that think that they understand the market and that they can advise other people financially that aren't wealthy themselves. It doesn't make any sense at all. So you have to be really, really careful with that. I know a lot of people, a lot of companies and stuff give you access to a financial planner or financial advisor, and a lot of people use them, but are you actually getting the return, and can you prove that it's anything more than luck? I mean, if you would have just put your money in the S&P 500 in a EFT for an index fund on the S&P 500, would you have done just as well, or would you have done better? You have to ask yourself that question, and how much are you paying them for this? It's no trick to take someone else's money and ride it into a good market, and then looks like you're making a profit for them, when in reality it's just that the market's going up. Everyone's making money. So you really need to scrutinize this, and there's really no reason why you shouldn't be your own financial advisor. There's not some magic here. No one's going to give you a shortcut. They're not going to be able to outperform the market even, right? No one can even outperform the market for any length of time that's proven. So you have to be really, really careful, and always ask the questions, right? Be very skeptical. Make them prove it. Make them show you. Anyone that claims to be a financial planner, financial advisor, yeah, I know this isn't going to be very popular because a lot of people use them, but really, doesn't it make sense that they should be wealthy themselves? Anyway, that's it for my emergency video. I just wanted to get that out here. While I've actually got another email in my inbox from someone that wants to meet with me because they're a financial planner, and I'm basically going to turn around and ask them the same thing. Hey, what's your net worth? Oh, okay, well, you know what? All right, they're going to say I'm not going to reveal that or whatever. I'm going to say, well, I only work with people who have a net worth of above $1 million and can prove it to me. And so far, no one has ever done that yet. So, yeah, makes you wonder. Plus, you think about it this way too. If someone does have that net worth, if they're making millions for themselves, why are they going to waste time trying to get you to invest your $100,000? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. They're just going to keep on doing what they're doing and making money. So that's it. Hope you enjoy this video. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, or you disagree with me, hey, show me some proof. I'm pretty sure about what I'm saying here, but I'm open to reason. Show me how someone who claims to be a financial advisor can actually make someone rich while they're not rich themselves. I'm happy to hear it. Anyway, hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care.